The governor signed a new bill into law today to protect Nevada from future cyber attacks.
The legislation comes after a major attack in August disrupted dozens of Nevada's critical services. That includes the DMV and law enforcement databases for 3 weeks. Some payroll and benefits had to be processed manually. The new bill creates a statewide cybersecurity framework. The state will now have a centralized security operations center. The focus is to fight increasing threats, protect sensitive data, establishes a cybersecurity talent pipeline program, and ensures a coordinated and rapid response.
Additional resources, additional coordination, allowing local governments to actually buy into the state cybersecurity system, because not all of our systems are connected here. So even though this cyber attack was aimed at the state, local governments are vulnerable for that as well.
A state employee unknowingly downloaded malware from a spoof website, according to an after-action report. The state refused to pay the ransom and solve the problem internally. It cost the state more than $1.3 million in outside vendor support.